Here's the tale of Billy Hayes from out near Alice Springs. A wild young ringer. In his day he'd done some crazy things. See, he'd jumped bulls over fences, raced a colt up Ayers Rock. His legs weren't built for walking, they were made for riding stock. A legend round the rodeos from Aileron to Broome. An untried horse at 6 a.m. was saddle broke by noon. No form of equine foolery Bill wasn't going to try. Only one thing ever spooked him. He was way too scared to fly. Hey, if I was meant to do it, I'd have feathers and a beak. You'll take the plane there in a day, I'll drive and waste a week. I've been told they're safe as houses and mechanically they're sound. I don't see no rope or bridle, so hey, I'm sticking on the ground. But one day Billy got a phone call from his mate in Adelaide who'd got his girl in trouble, so the wedding cards were played. Oh, Bill, I don't care how you do it. You can beg or steal or borrow. But mate, you got to take the plane, eh, because the big day's on tomorrow. Well, Billy cursed and spat it, said that dopey bloody coot. He knows I jump on anything that's coming out of shoot. I've caught stallions that'd kill you. I've caught bulls gone off their brain. Never thought they'd come today, eh? I'd have to catch a plane. He legged it to the airport. He thought, hey, this is it. The lady at the counter asked, where would you like to sit? Oh, geez, he said, you know that black box thing they always seem to find? But you can stick me right inside if you wouldn't bloody mind. The lady smiled politely, said, sir, I'll just take your bag. He said, hey, I don't bloody think so. And, you know, by the way, she's called a swag. Well, Bill was sweating buckets when they finally cleared the strip. Had his seatbelt on that tight, he was bleeding from the hip. But when they levelled out, he stopped shaking at the knees. He looked around, relaxed and thought, hey, this flying game's a breeze. He clipped his belt undone, stretched out in his seat. Well, he couldn't stretch that far, you know, because his swag was at his feet. Then the captain crackled something. Bill asked the hostess what was said. So you'd better buckle up, there's some turbulence ahead. He went, turbulence? What's that? She said, sir, it's pockets caused by heat. And when it gets severe, it can throw you from your seat. He went, throw me, I'll be buggered. He pushed his seat right back, wrapped his legs around his swag, and stuck his left hand through the strap. He jammed in his Akubra. He was ready now to ride. Then things got pretty bumpy and Billy yelled, outside! Well, the plane, she dropped 1,000 feet, rose up 500 more. When his head near hit the ceiling, he gave a mighty roar. I rode all through the territory and never come unstuck. So gimme all you got, big bird, and buck, you bastard buck. And while the passengers were screaming in fear of certain death, Billy whooped and hollered till he near ran out of breath. You would have thought that canvas swag was welded to his ass. And before the ringer knew it, he'd bucked up to business class. There seemed no way to tame this creature. It had 10 gears in reverse. Didn't worry Billy, he just bucked on through to first. He'd done somersaults with twists on this mongrel mount from hell. He yelled out to the pilot, for Christ's sake, ring the bell. Oh, poor old Billy was bleeding from the bugle. He had cuts above both eyes. If you weren't there on the spot, you'd probably think I'm telling lies. He'd been upside down, inside out, done flips and triple spins. You might have seen some great rides in your time, but hands down, Billy wins. Well, the flight returned to normal. Bill was flat out on the deck. Still stuck to his swag, but oh gee, he looked a bloody wreck. He pulled himself together, stood up and raised his hat. Said, hey, he said, I've had some tough trips in me time, but whew, never one like that. An 8-second spin in Alice proves you're made of sturdy stuff. I was on there near a minute and I reckon that's enough. Well, the first class folk were dumbstruck at this crazy ringer's feat, but Bill just grabbed a crownie and he walked back to his seat. Now years have passed and Bill's long give the bucking game away. Too many breaks and dusty miles for far too little pay. Now planes are not a problem. In fact, he'd rather fly than ride. And when you talk about his maiden voyage, his chest puffs out with pride. His A says, you can talk about your Rocky Neds and that old chainsaw bloke. I'd ride them both without a rope and roll a bloody smoke. There's cowboys round who think they're hot. They ain't tasted heat till they've ridden time on turbulence at 30,000 feet.